Hey guys,
You always need to sign next to the podium. Wait, why? Here. This feels long. So do you want to go to doctor's? No. Oh, there's something.
what?
Maybe get a little ice cream.
Did you
Yeah.
start it already?
Yeah,
Should I start one?
up to you.
Oh, we're online.
Yeah, I mean,
Make sure it's muted for now.
I'll just turn off camera a bit. Stream. Stop.
Sorry. I just gotta give you a second.
Yeah, it's not redundant.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone good?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Can you copy and paste? Put in the box?
Oh, yeah. This is just text. Here from protection order governors, African Americans declining these governance bonds, told African Americans and indigenous authoritarian guard walking period, Africa needs clearly defining an African fire for legitimate government and plug this key strong democratic government despite underdevelopment bills at all. Number one, despite everybody's budget, hostile climate climate showing the way we the laws, climate country achieving peace, not covered with regular elections, Somalia bringing small synonymous party, younger generation democracy as of then we can claim such Somalians, improving democratic north and regional democratic superpower and recognition promotes democracy as kind of 1. Opposite to recognition comes from authoritarian regime use one democratic success as president, AU recognition signal democracy value in Africa, and opportunity to build a democratic region, and otherwise democratic decline Africa spells global uncertainty for democracy in 2024. Africa, with population expected to double, Africa holds global democracy future. Youth are committed to movements, chasing away authoritarian regimes, reading, value democracy will have to reform and democracy caps access to resistance camps 21. Voters are on following catastrophic risk watch will improve governance and study of experts that a diverse group of problem solving agents to make fewer mistakes, fail safe, and fail safes work even if the democracy to prevent fairness, make more or less likely Republicans, little to produce strong support for climate, and just do this instability. Somaliland strategy for recognition of agreements like the MOU Jackals 16 recognition strategy for Somaliland policy information on state bill to include fighting candidates Somaliland term relationship to recognition enter agreements with commercial entities offer military bases and improvement for Namo 24 Somaliland struck deals with foreign powers raising taxes and Somaliland's new president will push for this treatment 24. President gives special awards recognition for Somalia new government's first job, and you use the MOU pushed up to break this web. 24. Africa's no relief with the MOU. Security landscape is tinderbox. Is small mistake cause rapid escalation. The MOU moves on Somalia and Ethiopia strength relations, and Turkish mediation will fail this SSMB. 24. It's impossible to witness a tangible outcome of the Ankara negotiation. Ethiopia's news strong opposition speculation indicate that a possibility between Somalia and Egypt. Ethiopia didn't step back after still unresolved. Ethiopia's naval ambitious ops accused president of crossing sovereignty, signal deciding an illegal declaration. Ethiopia forced attack Somalia for surviving the declaration. Peace requires diplomatic engagement and for resolve conflict forces diplomacy is short 21. The AU has mandated legitimacy to elect authority the AU in 2005 said background mission to Somaliland findings favorable to Somaliland men 10 times discussed Somaliland's adequate mediation to overcome delays. Somaliland would deal with Somaliland security challenge. The AU has demanded to mediate peace and determine sovereignty about Somalia to negotiate and independently amicable divorce most likely invitation status. 16. Somaliland pursued amicable divorce with Somalia to require agreement of separation. Somaliland held meetings of patron instrumental transforming discussions into recognition to realistic efforts by amicable divorce with Eritrea and South Sudan and amicable divorce to overcome a option separation and otherwise the act cannot pass. Jacobs 16. Somalia opposed recognition. The AU's unwilling to make the first move hesitant is recognized over the objection of Somalia. Agreement would allow recognition without reaching the AU stance on territorial disruption. Absent recognition, Somalia's attempts to legitimize itself and inflame the region's elite. 24. Somalia's recurring conflicts, including recognition, is crucial to stabilize regional politics. Port deal would not have exacerbated tension if Somaliland was recognized. Somaliland has appeared as a legitimate state. National identity revolves around sovereignty, striving for recognition while unrecognized, jeopardize peace. The port deal exemplifies this. The security itself, Somalia make enemies. Somaliland to appear as a state, but must do so without engagement and conflict is inevitable and cause great power with its army. 24. Africa's on the cusp of war catalyst is Abiy's obsession for Ethiopia access to the MOU by a violation of Somalia's sovereignty. Tensions have escalated the region. Time bomb conflict around Red Sea states all which consider water security security. The U.S., China, and Europe have military presence. Iran and Russia and the region of battlefield for global powers and divide shipping maritime routes trade war endanger global trade. Contention 3 is piracy. Somali pirates exerting Morocco. 24. Somali pirates and back pirates here on the African rising tribal there has been more piracy at any point with high ranks of UNSC anti-piracy measures expire. And indeed, Walker 11 time pirates developed sophisticated capacity. Houthi attacks pushed route south creating opportunity to exploit vulnerabilities and security force stretched in redeployed to the Red Sea and shoulder 12 states with monsoon season and these Somali pirates expected to rise threat expand dramatically situation exacerbated by reduced security measures and recognition enables Somali to attain anti-piracy measures rugby. 24. Recognition would enable Somali to develop security infrastructure participate in international framework and strengthen intelligence gathering capabilities that territory serves as battle for naval operations and security trade routes and territories position near the Gulf aid makes it invaluable and anti-piracy cut the length of evidence for now. Otherwise, piracy such trade as Ruza 29% of commodity travel by sea plays a prominent role. Gulf of Aden responding piracy threat and incalculable damage to the world economy. Higher insurance, extra fuel on rerouting costs, endangered trade at large, and declining costs great power worth its brands. 21 logos makes leaders grab research to make nationalism a crutch. Many followers when the U.S. over economic search ended Washington engaged in imperial expansion, facing slowdown between the big two countries' France. Undertaking military intervention to fear the kind of so powerful motive for urgent expansion. I'm reading the evidence.
So what evidence?
The length of evidence. Piracy.
Oh, sorry. I'll send the body stuff first. I didn't know. Okay, criminal has backlash. Accusations are recognized with their small backlash. Item 4. Ethiopia recognizes the provision of formal recognition because it presents a risk of conflict with Somalia and Muslim influence in the region and delicately balanced approach is maintained by regional powers, affirming the red line, part 24. Recognize Somaliland's independence will be a clear violation of international law that codifies the sanctity of a country's unity, territorial integrity, and developments and open interference with Somalian sovereignty, freedom, and unity, raised questions about Mogadishu's ability to preserve the country's unity and sovereignty, and Somalia's reaction to Ethiopia's memorandum as a warning, ICJ 24. The surprise memorandum of understanding between Ethiopia and Somaliland have aggravated attention to the Horn of Africa with the liberation of Sudan, and recognition will lead to all conflict in the Horn of Africa between the two developing regional blocs, ICJ 24. Although the most more complicated result of the memorandum seems low, that a change in the law and release move to the deal's next stage. If you come on the latest front from proxy in the Horn of Africa, they can drive a wedge between the two emerging blocs on one hand, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and their allies, including Eritrea and Djibouti, all of which situated on the Red Sea and the UAE, Ethiopia, and their allies on the other. The impact is conflict. High intentions cause war, weapons before. Powerful militarization across from each other, increased proximity, heightened risk, even if small mistakes would escalate to interstate conflict in the war. Various regional powers end up on different sides of the proxy war, and this draws some great power because of the Gulf of Aden in 1824. International powers are increasingly seeking in military control, crucial Horn of Africa, Alpha, Somalia has turned into a draw for international attention due to the Gulf of Aden near the Red Sea. The US, China, Turkey, UAE, and all major naval bases in the region, while Iran and Russia are seeking there, along with Egypt and Oman, decided to see the Horn of Africa as vital to national security. The new race of foreign militaries to Somalia and Horn of Africa, promoting with efforts for geopolitical rivalries, and great power will be used to build nuclear bear 21. In striving for escalation, domination, find themselves involved in inverted nuclear exchange, erasure of one universal, nuclear battle, and any likelihood of nuclear risk taking and conflict in other parts of the globe causes confusion. Start 14. Small nuclear war to catastrophic destruction to the global continent, global famine, result of war, less than half the US nuclear weapons would destroy the human race, connected to his clans. Somaliland clan relations are stable but fragile. Muhammad 24. Somaliland election underlines political stability, the peaceful transfer of power in the east. The members of Darbar clan family favored close relation with Mogadishu frictions were the part of the conflict that erupted in 2023. Fighting has not restarted since, although the risk of conflict reuniting remains. None of the controversies over and the conduct of elections to minimize post-election tensions. The incoming administration should demonstrate its commitment to the governing on behalf of all Somalilanders, not just clan-based coalition. Recognition causes civil war. Back 22. Not all Somali leaders are pro-secession. Many are against everything to do with the independence from Somalia and everything to do with the power struggle between the clans. Somaliland is not unified. The ISIS clan is the clan in power and pushing for independence. The four opposing clans oppose recognition because they know it will transition financial and military aid to the Somaliland government, which is controlled by the ISIS clan, allowing for the ISIS clan to dominate the other clans and take control of their land. The opposing clans are now openly discussing the eventuality of a civil war against the ISIS clan, and also 21 continues. The salient plot assumption inherent in this source about the people of Somaliland is that they are monolithic and also for the secession, that there are five clans, only one of them are supportive of the secession of Somalia. Recognizing Somaliland is sufficient to open a Pandora box and further stabilize the fragile African countries that are already reeling tribal separatism or jihadist insurrection. And the memorandum of the warning, calling 24. The MOU deals with the potential for a very serious conflict in the latter part of Africa. The idea of the Somaliland was an independent state was above the political competition that through violent conflict in eastern Somaliland. The impact is great power war. Civil war draws great power, 2017. As he tried to preserve his position, the others recognized the countermeasures risk before World War I or the Civil War were rendered artificially strong by outside assistance. World War I and longer lasting. A strong nation disabled and proxy direct engagement with the nuclear weapons produces risk. Great powers are likely to be drawn into straight conflict with the AW evidence and causing extinction for birds and star right above. The second impact of state collapse. Somaliland civil war triggers collapse of world in 23. Collapse after planned warlords overthrew dictators and turned on each other, triggered abandonment and the intervention of the UN peacekeepers and failed states to do active conflict and other impacts. Michael 18. Most of today's active conflict, including the international terrorism emanating from failed states which cannot control the spillover of domestic turmoil, are the biggest generators of humanitarian crisis, displaced people and refugees. They endangered stability in neighboring states for all those reasons.
Talk about backlash. Your evidence says that MOU signed in January signaled broader commitment to Somaliland. That result signaled like things there's tension in the region. So why did that trigger the Somaliland backlash?
Because we would say got negotiated by Turkey within that time period, right? Our ICG evidence is very clear that for those months that the MOU was in place, Somalia was backlashing, they were increasing military, they reaffirmed commitments with Ethiopia or with Egypt in the region, which proves they were gearing up for that conflict.
So why did that conflict occur in those 4 months? Because negotiations happened like several months later.
Sure, our ICG evidence is really explicit. It says two reasons. Number one, because it got negotiated. Second of all, it says if Ababa and Hargeisa were to move to the stages of the next step of the agreement, which is formal recognition of Somaliland, that's when backlash would have triggered. We're saying the affirmative is actually recognition, which is the next step that causes the conflict. I'll take a question. All right, let's look at this idea about, let's look at governance.
Yeah.
So what countries like are going to model after Somaliland that are like democratically backsliding right now?
Multiple, Somalia, for example, is democratically backsliding. We would argue that recognizing Somaliland gives it the incentive to do state building. In addition, Ethiopia, Kenya, Sudan. I can just like.
Wait, why would it give these states the initiative to be like democratic?
So the argument,
they're independent states already.
Yeah, so the argument that we're making is that right now Somaliland is a democratic like success story, right? It's flourishing democracy and has regular elections. However, people do not look at it as a model because they see it as illegitimate. It's just a part of Somalia and it's tied to Somalia's broken identity. Recognizing it, A, shows AU's commitment to democracy, and B, enables it to act as a model now that it is a legitimate sovereign state in the region, which signals broader commitment and enables other countries to look to that as a model for effective government. Cool. Let's talk about your failed states impact. Are there failed states in Africa right now?
I mean, Probably.
Yeah, so, why haven't we seen your impact trigger? Like Sudan is a failed.
Sure,
state,
sure, because
right?
our AW evidence is the internal language is very specific, saying that Somaliland is really important in drawing in great powers because of the interest in the Gulf of Aden
It says
and
that.
in the Suez Canal, yeah.
But
that's
like,
the
for
AW.
example, South Sudan is near the Gulf. Somalia is basically a failed state, it's near the Gulf of Aden. Why didn't that trigger the impact?
Wait, one, no, second of all, Somaliland has like coastline right on the trade.
Somalia is a failed state and it's near the Gulf of Aden. Why didn't that trigger the impact?
Somaliland. We would
Somalia.
say it's more important right now, especially because the AW evidence is written after 2023 and finds that great powers like US, China, Turkey, UAE, Dubai, all have
Wait, why is
naval
it, why
bases
is
in
the
the
fact that it
region.
was written after 2023?
Yeah, because they established naval bases in the region and they're.
They've been establishing military bases.
No.
for decades.
The only evidence is from 2024, I'll take this question.
Yeah.
Right, let's look at this idea about instability. So what other agreements are like brewing on the horizon?
For example, Somaliland recently negotiated a port deal with the US, which is that guaranteed to employ tension Somalia. The MOU is another example. Our argument is that because Somaliland is inherently trying to appear legitimate as a legitimate state, other countries perceive it as a threat to insolvency, but engaging in amicable divorce solves it.
No, do you want me to send it? You all want it in the money?
It's not,
Not in the
like
money?
a PDF, yeah.
Those are Word doc.
Yeah, of course.
I sent it in one email. The order will be down the case. If I have time, I will read them.
Give me one second, I haven't.
On back when I made their evidence in the context of Clever Avenue, which not for Somalia backlash and said Somalia was negotiating through a neutral third party, which the act is able to result through a legitimacy increase in the 20 stage fourth and Source 21 and plus 124 finds that what appears Somalia is a sensitive opportunity to Somaliland's will to living away from the hands of bullying by judicial administration deliver when they see as a final limit Somaliland's quest for independence law belonging for confrontation between Somalia and Somalia over self-determination because an inevitable risking wide regional involvement to non-meeting Somaliland's new president is pursuing recognition post. I mean that's enough to further the backlash linked to their hard and ICG evidence is just generically about recognition, not specifically the AU. That's Chairman 1221 President Abdullah said he would pursue recognition for Somaliland by the new government's offer to create a new Somaliland. And the union is framed all terms described by a free turn. Recognition for all extensions of MOU of negative guarantees cycle conflict with ILE 24 without recognition, Somalia will struggle to resolve interstate disputes. The red state board deal will not have exaggerating 60% vote intervention in Somalia, but if Somaliland sovereignty was recognized or turned out, decrease Somaliland nationalists, Somali nationals without a way because the root cause of Somali and clan backlash is answered both of their contention that the 30-21 there is strain between and within Somali nationals and independent Somaliland by intermittent destructive identifying realization even more unlikely than it is by current security. That's Schwartz 21. Somalia emerge stronger if it depends on secure Somalia with security economic. At present, 6 turn the need for American citizens was incentivized approach, that's key to self terrorism, which spells out outweigh their case on scope as Missouri 21 are great, but Mogadishu wouldn't harm U.S. security if we could watch the right to live benefit political progress. During the battle against Al-Shabaab, Somalia needs badly needs American security as with a damn overreaction facility of approachment. Beijing would replace it by any American aid Mogadishu could not provide kinetic counterterrorism that the U.S. does, and otherwise Al-Shabaab will get news after uniting the vulnerable due to deficient regulatory systems that weighs on magnitude of between 18 African president of disciplining environment, target rich environment rate, the weak borders allow for terrorist efforts, smuggling missiles, materials, other are working on the isolated equipment and inadequate corruption, especially in the case of Somalia with terrorist organizations like Al-Shabaab, the decline of security of Iran for exercise and instability track terror, and nuclear terror causes economic collapse and nuclear war that's brought 17 single nuclear terror, terrorist nuke would ripple around the world.
And the economic development began with enormous insurance companies with real investor confidence would be effect growing rent into global trade. I'll mark that a trade on plans 198 findings stopping now. They have no brink evidence in the room. Evidence says that the road is the king that is opposed to independent. That is not one of four major plans identified in the back in 22 evidence to cause conflict. That's around 1218. Intense fighting broke out in the southern Sinai region with heavy casualties. Follows clash in the other contested regions, highlighting close attention and cross-applied achievement 24 from above. That means that their union is wrong and conflict is inevitable as plans fight over whether or not Somaliland should be recognized. Their ban 22 evidence also is in the context of U.S. recognition. They have not read a singular link or piece of evidence that the AU recognition will lead to U.S. recognition. They simply do not have the link. And to turn the new Wadani party solves it. They have to plan equality in government, recognize Somaliland within this boundary is in power, reinforces this. That's Canada 24 Somaliland's election ended 14 years of the Colombian party. Wadani prioritized economic governance to move away from favoring the idea plan. Wadani hopes to ease clan tensions, efforts, foster political integration of plans. Brief down unique Al-Shabaab has overpowered AU forces and destabilized Alvarez Williams. 24 Hours will continue to generate civilian revenue, sustaining its destabilization. Militants have infiltrated intelligence, serving the same sympathizer with political class AU. Forces within thinly spread as a result, Al-Shabaab can maintain deadly attacks on AU bases. 4. Recognition enables Somaliland to intelligence sharing schemes with solve terrorism. We solve the most currently civil war that's wealthy. 24. The territories record and same intelligence block demonstrated capability as part of recognition of naval Somalia and pursuing international frameworks and strengthening intelligence gathering. I'll mark that I got the undercover draw in 1. No impact insurgency prefer over there. Impact based our evidence is historically accurate. That's cross 12. Civil wars are fought on the purpose of state insurgents and be militarily weak and factionalized by Africa, Nigeria, and Bunida and Angola, FBO and Sudan, Northern Uganda are internally divided, really structured and training, have access to heavy weapons on field state. No impact field states. To know empirical evidence, terrorism, crime shift to location per case by case empirical analysis of generalized. Claim they say their impact evidence specific Somalia, it's literally not. Besides 14, the threat posed by tribal states turn out to be diffused. Threat terrorism is highly correlated with why dangerous that whenever unique to weak states. There are little empirical evidence undermines assertions and dangers are more likely to come from strong states with imperfect regulations, and their Michael evidence is not general. It's written in the context of Middle Eastern states, which means that it isn't specific to Somalia or Africa in general, but for our evidence because it is.
Y'all want to bring it up?
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you.
Oh,
Do you want?
It's gonna go right there. Starting back, they said MOU didn't trigger for no, it literally caused Somalia to increase military drills, just didn't cause the impact because Turkey was able to mediate it first, when they say talk about Turkey mediation and like third party mediation, no, Turkey, that was Turkey, but Turkey can't mediate post after the only reason that Turkey was able to mediate was because they were able to stop official recognition from going through with the because official recognition, there's nothing for Turkey to do, but then they said the new president will pursue recognition over that, so now because they can see the down, see that no countries are actually going to recognize Somalia right now, it doesn't matter how hard the new president tries to do it, no one actually recognizes it, but then they say recognition is all countries over, there's no warning that the evidence and reason there's not gonna be any Somalian cooperation, which also responsibility security term, but then because their red lines are crossed, they be seen as their sovereignty, which all parents first, but they can say nationals, and over that evidence, however, we're talking about the government backlash, not the individual people. Their evidence only talks about individual people maybe being less nationals, but they don't read the impact to what individual people being nationals could do. We would say that the Somali government themselves and nobody issue is what is going to backlash, but then they say the rapprochement, however, there's zero link to recognition here, there's just read the evidence isn't there, but then on plans. They say fighting now, however, it's not about their evidence isn't about plans, it's just about alternate actors, and it literally can see that there's going to be a ceasefire right now, there's not fighting, but then they say that what documents also over their evidence says that fighting could restart if recognition favors one party, which is what would happen goes down for the man. But then they say also about say by so no, also succeeding and decreasing decreasing terror. I'm definitely for. They would even order collaborative and should be effective as a Jewish and priorities essential sectors to establish a shared configuration of the UN responsible for new dimensions of the council coordination. But then they say recognition calls intel sharing over nothing says that intel sharing actually works. They don't have an internal link for this, but we would also say that there's not going to be any intel sharing once again because countries like Somalia or people are cooperating with their red lines across. But then grouping and defense actually from the second and will go for the first one, but then on their case on governance. Once I need African democracy self, I was 24. African also attempts to liberal democracy and roots starting 22 African countries have also formed African colonies. Reforming is debating if no work for white democracy down. Ours actually analyzed actually then two Mills can see the small is able to be a democratic model even without recognition for turnover. Then Kahina has been talking about the status quo being good for us. Kahina's hypothetical, but then three Kahina just says that recognition signals the importance of democracy, not that it can actually turn authoritarian countries democratic. They just have not readily it's not reverse causal. But then four turn lack of international aid is good for Somaliland political development. Owing 10. Recognition of failure of Somaliland government does not receive its financial assistance. Owing 10 continues. Providing fair work sustainable financial support to be also the responsibility for potentially undermining stability and decision to try toward becoming consolidated democracy. Had the international community provided Somaliland's person from government with resources necessary to ensure stability, political reconciliation, representative governments, approach to develop Somaliland's political institutions will likely not taking place, and political institutions are key to democracy. Then 5 term lack of international recognition for Somaliland independence increase their internal stability. PD 21. Lack of international recognition to increase its nationality in Somaliland. If the Somalilanders have not achieved peace among themselves, nobody can do it for them. The social self-reliance and nationality with the de facto state ultimately solidifying internal legitimacy. Free flexibilities, key to being able to model conflict resolution. No one wants to follow the advice of a war torn country. Instability. 100 uniqueness of Somaliland only looks for agreements and deals with individual state shocks. Concedes they want recognition from multiple states at once, which the AU that's what for not individual deals. But then 2 agreements able to mediate the MOU when Somaliland agrees between they prioritize stability over recognition. But so A, they'll never push for deals to the point of conflict, and B, to can solve in the future. Their SSMB evidence is written right as hard equations going through and speculative. Proving innocence and proven wrong since their declaration has not been violated. But then 3, the act of pass on Somalia's approval. The resolution's question of should not would. We begin that the act happens to be over half the AU agrees to it. Somalia is enough to be one of them. 4, Web talks about just the MOU and not any other new deals that was written, but was written before Turkey mediated that should trigger their impact. Means that's the same. But then 5, there's dog evidence about an anecdotal force that could not would. They haven't read any evidence in Somalia would agree to this was dogs from the land. But then 6, obviously the portrait of the like Somalia was recognized, but then it would have never even happened because in the first place, but I think it's like recognition did cause tension with some reason to negate. But then 7 turns the acting sentence in 18. These are nobody truly Somalia were officially foundation or COVID provisions that no one truly public Somalia would not like owning to street to land near the Red Sea. Reverse force never actually says the aim engagement with the sea or how it would, but on piracy. 190 reason goes in piracy stay limited, chapter 24. Piracy can be limited compared to relation to the stronger multinational crime piracy structures. Counterpart base. They'll say posting up this matter their evidence, analysts, small that will our evidence are not up to cause or impact. Then 2 turns small and only by piracy make a case for independence. They'll say 18. Small leaders to make a secure piracy over their independence. Small leaders to support independence and define control of the small leaders to speak piracy as part of the real small leader making the constructive link. Just cut the last one. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
What?
Was everything else?
Yeah,
Okay.
just the stuff in red on C1 and the last card. On C.
Sounds good. We're gonna start taking breath. That's it. Good forward, like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the first question.
Yeah.
What is the distinction between your impacts on your second?
Yeah, on the first, oh yeah, the first impact is about like great powers being pulled into like the civil war that happened.
So how does our impact defense fully answer itself?
Because just saying there's no impact to insurgencies or failed states, we don't plan to get to the,
Wait, why did great powers get drawn?
what?
Why did great powers get drawn?
Because they don't have like the interest in like the, you know, like they're tied up in the region.
What is the connection between civil war and great powers?
Well, I mean, I can read the post and evidence for you. It says that, like, they take countermeasures, which, like, and they both like use outside assistance. It's
So
literally just a proxy war.
insurgency is used outside. of
No, it doesn't, no, it doesn't say insurgency. It says that each clan seeks outside assistance, and because there's so many like great powers just looking to compete, it's a really easy place for there to be
But
proxy
clans-
war. You can see the
Well,
post.
for clarity, clans are the ones involved in civil war, correct?
Yeah, the clans are
Okay.
involved in the civil war, but like it's not like insurgency. It's
Okay,
the clans are fighting, and then they pull in like great powers get involved because it becomes a proxy war.
yeah, you can take it.
All right, let's talk about. Yeah, let's talk about your arguments. Let's talk about your C one.
Sure.
Why is African democracy key?
Africa currently is one of the least democratic continents, especially in the context of elections and the context of international cooperation. Our argument is that Somalia provides a model for African countries.
But why is Africa democracy specifically key for global? In
Well, Africa,
your Yale evidence, what word does it get?
I don't know what the Yada specifically says, but African democracy is important because, Africa's a big continent. There are multiple countries there, like 54 countries in Africa. And
Yeah,
also,
it says
both
pop-
sides agree that the next world war is likely to start now.
Wait, no, but I'm just asking specifically about the democracy stuff, right? Gates says it's because of population growth. But like if we take a country like China, China has a bigger population than all of Africa combined, and they're really authoritarian. If population is what matters, why does
Like China probably has a bigger population now, but Africa in terms of population is one of the fastest growing. Can I have a question?
Sure.
So let's talk about civil war again.
Yeah.
Why didn't Biafra, why didn't, Angola cause your impacts?
But civil war there?
Yeah.
Oh, because once again, like you see the location makes it more likely for like great powers to be pulled in, like traded to the region, they're already involved in the region, whereas like.
But that was in
places
Nigeria,
like
which is
Angola.
like the most profitable place in Africa for great power.
Yeah, but great powers weren't already involved in the region.
Why not?
They just, I mean, that's just a fact. They were not involved before the Civil War. We would say right now, great powers to a degree are involved in Somaliland. That's why they get pulled in the clan war. But either way, we'd say it's probably irrelevant given the post and evidence was conceded coming out of rebuttal. But I'll grab a question. Or actually, it's like 5 seconds left.
We have 2 time left, we're gonna keep taking. We have 10 seconds left. But we have 5 seconds.
Order is gonna be arcades, legs, shoulders. Everyone good? No, we're good. Alright. On C1 democracy, we will concede this alternative caused by democracy cannot solve conflict, which means no defense return. On C2, first concede that Turkey never solves links mediation, which solves links on the links specifically. They've dropped that AU specifically key to legitimacy because they've dropped that in every single African country's eyes, the AU was the only regional body able to exercise mediation efforts historically in Eritrea and South Sudan, which is why AU intervening in terms of amicable divorce will solve tensions. But even if this is just contemplation of backlash on their case on piracy, they say votes on piracy will stay limited. Their evidence is literally 11 months outdated. They've dropped that our evidence is 9 months posted. It indicates that trade is still being shredded right now, which means that clearly current efforts are not enough. They say that non-recognition is why anti-piracy is still being solved. We agree that Somalia has the intent to pursue anti-piracy. It's just a matter of capability. They've dropped the evidence indicates that because Somalia lacks the infrastructure and lacks intelligence sharing to increase anti-piracy, that is why they're suffering right now, and that's why piracy is so high. In addition, none of their evidence reverse causal. There's no more. That's why the incentive to pursue anti-piracy suddenly changed post-affirmative. It's inherently true. That's the piracy research in the Red Sea is raising cargo imports, shipping costs, sharpening supply chain, slowing down the global economy. Recognition enables Somalia to enter intelligence sharing and gain security infrastructure to conduct anti-piracy, independently encouraging others in the region to follow suit, fully drop independently. El Prologue slogan prompts great powers to go to diversionary wars, distract attention from internal turmoil, different tasks, and go to nuclear causing extinction through nuclear famine. On democracy, but go back to democracy. We will concede that democratic spillover can occur without recognition, which is not even turn. Wait a minute, what? You've conceded that piracy is inevitable now, and you've conceded that trade cost is inevitable now. That means extinction is 100% probable. Any status quo and any risk of defense on the name means you go down. Any risk of stalling on the links means you go down immediately. Second is severity. You drop that great power war is inevitable, and great power war and encompasses every single great power of the region, which is guaranteed to go nuclear. While their argument is about small conflicts in the middle of Africa, which is far less likely to go nuclear. While you know that these great powers, such as France, Russia, and Italy, have an intent to go to diversion wars, and they have the capability to do so, which you know that our links are inherently true. Their case. On the way, they just straight drop the term. Resorting evidence indicates that because Somalia relies on the U.S. for counter-terror, recognition will incentivize Somalia to reapproach with the U.S. and managed security type of solve counterterrorism. They've dropped all the impact on terror, the fact that terrorists, they're able to get news called economic collapse, and the economic collapse and trade disruption was caused great parts of Africa, ultimately cascading to extinction. The drop terror out of rebuttal, all the way they dropped one, they dropped climate, dropped the terrorism level now, which means you know that extinction is 100% probable. Second, you drop severity, all argument is full economic collapse, and every single theory of vote. Creatures in the Middle East. Well, there again, their argument is a small cross in the middle of Africa, which are far less likely to escalate. Again, this is a conceded term out of perspective rebuttal. It means like you should evaluate. On C2, the first argument I'll go on their case is the fact that they have no computer link. They're bad at the concept of U.S. recognition, which they have not been linked to, which means they have no access to the scenario. Exactly the second argument I'll go for the fact that they conceded impact even civil war does not have impact because they're fractionalized and there's no impact to build. There's no empirical analysis. They just need to go for the first impact, but their first of all, this is not delineated. Second of all, they just drop two pieces of impact events, which means you know about it.
We've taken 103, and then I'll take a roll.
also. That's like everyone. Is But they don't see more about backlash, it just extends terrorism, from literally read three responses. Number one is that there's no link to recognition or prohibition on these bridges, is not a topical term, but even then we can say that Somalia will never cooperate during those times because there's backlash in the region because of their sovereignty claims. But then they tell you that they also can see the non-unique region that AU missions are solving for terrorism and any backlash in the region, which means that there is no incentive for Somalia to reach out in the first place. All of these are conceded, this is not a viable term. The way is incoherent, but go to see about plans. Right now, plan relations are stable. Remember the election. Right now, we're seeing that political stability in the region. However, when you have recognition, it causes instability and civil war because there are four clans in Somaliland. There's only one clan that supports recognition because the other clans feel that if there's recognition, all of the power goes to that one single clan. They don't want consolidation of power. The bad evidence is very clear that they will go to civil war. That's really bad because when civil war breaks out in the region, it's very likely to draw very power because they're already involved in the region. They want to fight the problem. The AW evidence is very explicit, telling you that they already have naval bases in the region. After saying US, China, and Russia will get involved in the region because they want to fight. We love the reason when great power wars get entangled that causes nuclear exchange and causes extinction. But then the only thing they tell you is that there's no link to US recognition. This is super flippy. There's literally no implication. The bad evidence is the warranting of recognition being bad on equal because they don't want to have recognition of the Isaac claim that causes civil war writ large. There's no differentiation between the US and the AU. Recognition writ large is just bad because of civil war. But then all this impact defense doesn't make any sense. They say our failed states don't matter. Our impact is not relying on failed states. If civil war happens, great powers get drawn, we have extinction anyways. Go to the way. The way that they try to do severity, we're both talking about great power war, but then go to the way civil war infighting and backlash or media where there's internal the counter piracy effort takes way longer to happen. If there's internal instability, then counter piracy doesn't even happen in the first place because it means that there's no cooperation in the region. But then outbound probability, the MOU has really caused infighting in the northern region. When that happened, we already saw the plans infighting. However, they don't name a single actor actually trying to help with anti-piracy or the effectiveness of the anti-piracy efforts at that point in controlling the games. But then go to their case. Start on C3 about piracy. All is not unique. They have not responded to free evidence from that, saying that it does not matter that it could be because their evidence is talking about small spikes in piracy in the region. Our evidence was that since the 2000s that piracy is overall down. That's really important because there's Stratford interrolling evidence also telling that it has to be a long-term increase in order to trigger there. And at that point, the small spikes just don't matter. They can't go for it. It's just unresponded to in their last speech. But even then, extend the turn about Somaliland only fighting piracy to make a case for independence. It is reverse call. So it tells you that the only reason that they're having the intent to fight piracy is because they trade in the region impacts great powers that could recognize them in the future. They just tell you, the intent doesn't matter if there's no capability. No, capability doesn't matter if there's no intent. They don't want to do counter piracy in their world because they don't have the concept. They've already been recognized at that point. That means that intent comes first because they're not going to implement any of their the counter piracy measures that they don't need recognition in the first place. But then they try to go for the try or die way again. The try or die way doesn't matter because they consider these Stratford indicted that these small spikes don't cause extinction immediately, which means that time frame doesn't matter. But then on democracy, they try to concede the all causes now. They really did not read that. That was in red. It said they turn about internal stability. We tell you that Somalia not getting recognition is better for internal stability because they have to turn inward and actually listen to the populace. That's better for stability overall, probably better for terrorism and piracy.
Good cross.
Yeah.
That's the first question. So let's talk about your bad evidence, right? Your bad evidence is in the context of US recognition of Somaliland. So how can you apply that same warranting to AU?
Yeah. Two reasons. Number one, you don't read anything saying why US recognition, if any specifically in that context, matter or indicts the link in the first place. Our story throughout the entire round has been very clear. The reason why the clans fight is that because any recognition is really bad. The four other clans are scared that when there's recognition, all of the power, all of the aid, and all of
Your
the
bad
benefits will be
evidence says that clans will only backlash if they fear that the US is going to give them aid, etc., which rely on US recognition. Like, read the evidence. If you have not read a link to US recognition, then how do you have a link like that?
No, because that's the bad evidence and the Hassan evidence are both talking about recognition generally.
They're
There's
not.
none
The
of this
small
implication.
fine text is literally the word US recognition.
That's fine. Wait, but that's fine because the only response that you extend is very flippy in your summary. Is that it's US recognition, it's not related to the AU. But our story since rebuttal has been that recognition as a whole is
I'm pretty sure two different traditional bodies.
you haven't given me a reason why that matters, which means it
If your
doesn't
link
matter
is
because
only
it's
if
the
your
warranty of recognition.
link is purely in the first of all, it's just dropped by the way, like out of order. So like you're from with you. Secondly, if your link is contingent on the US recognizing Somaliland, the US by the way, not the AU or any other actor, the US, and you've not read a link as to why that same warranting applies to the AU. Then I don't think we have a link.
Our link is that recognition
US
of
recognition.
Somaliland as a state, as a one state is
US
bad
recognition.
because there's power sharing agreements. There is no warranting throughout this entire round why the US, like consolidating Somaliland as one actor is different than the AU consolidating Somaliland as one actor. The warranty was what
Okay,
is
this
wrong.
would've been
There's
nice
just
in
no
response to
implication
Russell.
of it being the
Second-
context
Also,
of
if
the
we have
US.
like bad, then we also read the song.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
So like we have two pieces of link evidence.
I mean, sure, you know.
Okay, all right, let's look.
That civil war does not happen, civil wars do not escalate.
Yeah, but the insurgencies thing doesn't say there's not.
It says insurgencies are fractured, they're factionalized, but they kind of escalate. Like, it's in the Strauss evidence, and it was
Wait,
conceded.
no. The Civil War stuff doesn't say that Civil War just does not happen, right? The link evidence is what
Yeah,
gets us
your
to
argument
the
is technically on
Civil
civil
War.
wars escalating, though, civil wars are fractionalized.
It doesn't say Civil Wars have to, like, because you're talking about regional actors as.
Your argument is on
the
civil wars
AW
cascading into great powers intervening.
No,
Civil
so
wars
wait,
not
also
escalating.
ours isn't about an insurgency, it's about like all these clans like together
That's a
fighting.
civil war, right, that's.
Yeah, that's the Civil.
We also kind of. Our face and then others. Right. The modern things took matter, they didn't stand in had independently, there's no way, also they dropped the second kick outwards that there's a lithium and Bill agree that's never had a revelation, is not unique, it's not depend on sovereignty, they're on the argument of piracy, Bill agree that doesn't have a waste of structure matter, but also they dropped that their argument only analyzes had not capability, they dropped Somalia doesn't have the capability, so even if they win the turn, their argument doesn't give Somalia the ability to actually crack down those piracy. Now their case, I'm going hard on the turn, it was dropped, I promise you, they dropped every single response to summary was brand new or a new cross application, which means I definitely get new answers, and the recorded answers are not specific to our scenario whatsoever. I did not spend a minute in rebuttal reading this for no reason. I read two independent cards, one being the link, one in the impact, one being uniqueness, and all of that was entirely dropped. I promise you. Send the argument that the affirmative would send the argument that the affirmative will break down counter-terror operations because it would incentivize via the U.S. approach for places China, which ultimately breaks down Al-Shabaab presence in Africa. As a result of that, they dropped the terror goes nuclear for the second piece of evidence, and that terrorists break down economic collapse because terror love investors, etc. They dropped the economic collapse is the biggest filter in this debate because they dropped the economic collapse, but that involves every single great power, which means that our arguments happen far faster. Their arguments start small and then grow big, but our arguments start big immediately because about great powers immediately as a result of economic interdependence. Two, they drop, try, or die. You know there's a 100% chance that Al-Shabaab is expanding now. Now I'm going to frontline their arguments here. They say no link to recognition. The card, literally the first line is about sovereignty over the past 30 years. That's definitely in the context of recognition. They say that they will never cooperate. Their argument is in the context of Somalian cooperation. That's not our argument. Our argument is U.S. cooperation in the context of counter-terrorism card. It's a specific. They say the aim mission solved. Their evidence does not include the word terror once, and they read that on their second tension on their argument about clans. Now there's no evidence here. They extend the argument that there is no impact because civil wars was factionalized in the state. The groups do not mean anything. They say the great powers are drawn in, but great powers only have an interest if they see the possibility of winning. But if civil wars are so factionalized and so minuscule, it doesn't matter. They're weighing none of it is comparative whatsoever. They say they weigh on time frame. Their argument civil wars don't start overnight. They say probability. Probability is new defense that's not comparative whatsoever and is uncarded.
15. Okay. We'll start a running clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Three more.
Okay. So weighing our capabilities. I'll sign this first. So anyone's not ready.
It's game over. The time frame, they massively handle their swans. I think the last game is Super Bowl. Remember, our time frame is immediate because just the civil wars that bring down immediately because there's zero like a disincentive to escalation. There's also great powers instantly. But then, however, the answer when the rapprochement happens, it takes a longer time to actually build the relation. Policy here, it takes a long time, and then quickly go to rapprochement. For new cross nations are fine. They didn't realize in summary that's a skill issue. No one new responses first on August. Come on, but then read your approach with link evidence. Remember, there's read your approach with link evidence. There's zero link to recognition at all. And he said that everyone wants to say that in summary, but then also remember, even if you want to go to it, they can see that the new AU mission is solving. They just say like, no, it's not solving. However, no, the new AU mission is about counter-terroring. It's called awesome, and it's solving. They can see that in their last week, Joel get a new response. In final focus are not voting here. But then let's go to clans. Right now, the legislators are stable, they're not fighting. However, the outcome of the civil war because the clans disagree and disrupt their current counter agreements because only one of the dominant clans want alternatives, the rest don't want it, so they all start fighting, and that draws the great power because they all have interest in the region, which draws the great powers and forming a proxy, which ultimately causes significant escalating all these nuclear weapons due to miscalculation, causing extinction, decimation of the climate. But then let's go to their case. Oh wait, really quick. They actually, there's not going to be civil war because there's no chance of winning. No, their evidence because the context of insurgency. That's not an example of a civil war. That's like a small group overthrowing like a government, or it's just like civil war counter agreements. But then also conceding the not unique honor culture. Really quick hits to try to dice up. But really quick, let's go to their case. Remember, the app is key to it. The app undermines Logland's internal stability because the only reason they have internal stability right now is because they've not been getting foreign interference and foreign aid from other actors who have to build their institutions from the bottom up. That's really important because they can see Kaylee's linked into piracy thing that generally when Smiley is unstable, they're not able to fight piracy, extend their piracy impact for them, which means that when there's more piracy, then they're able to when there's more piracy, then there's then it disrupts trade, socially causes great power warming. It's the same like warranting like pulling into the Gulf of Aden, which causes extinction decimation of the climate. Remember that right now there's no piracy because per the Stratford evidence, which they conceded in their last speech, because there's able to be current counter piracy initiatives, but those all get gotten rid of if there's no more internal stability in the app because there's right.
Good way.